Hi, this is a PowerPoint video about taxation and taxes. As Ben Franklin said, nothing is certain in this world but death and taxes. And unfortunately, that's kind of true. First of all, what are taxes? Taxes are payments of money to the government. And remember, in the United States, we have three levels of government, and we pay taxes to each level. We pay property taxes to the local government, for example, the town of Needham. We pay income taxes and sales taxes to the state government, for example, Massachusetts. We pay income taxes and payroll taxes to the national federal government in Washington, D.C. Why do we have to pay taxes? Well, it's partly because of EP10. The government can do some things better than the market can. We need the government to protect the country from outside threats. So the government runs and we need the government to settle disputes. So the government runs the blank system. We need the government to keep us safe from criminals. So the government runs and we need the government to provide public goods, also known as non-excludable goods. You can't exclude people. You can't keep people from using them. So the government builds and maintains blank and blank for people to travel. We also need the government to protect the environment and minimize blank externalities. And we need the government to protect common resources such as air and water and prevent the tragedy of the more controversial. Some people would say we need the government to help the poor, and also controversial, some people would say we need the government to provide health care. Why else do we have taxes? Well, think about it. Where can a government get money from? The government could just print more money, but if there was then a lot more money sloshing around the economy, then the value of that money would go up or down. And store owners would then raise prices or lower them. That's called inflation, which is bad. If prices are rising, life becomes more expensive or cheaper. So the government can't just print money to pay its bills. The government could borrow money, but then with the government borrowing money, demand for money would increase or decrease. If the government wanted money, if the government wanted to borrow money, would demand for money increase or decrease? So the price of money, that is the interest rate, would then increase or decrease. So then car loans, college loans, and home loans would be more expensive or cheaper. So the government can't just borrow money to pay its bills. Government debt would go up, 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 and the interest rate would rise. So since the government can't simply print money, and since the government can't simply borrow money, the government needs to tax the people. Why else do we have to pay taxes? It's our duty. Our duties as citizens are to obey the laws, vote, serve on jury duty when you're called to do so, and fight in wars if you're drafted, and to pay your taxes. Taxes have two goals. We want to collect taxes efficiently, in other words, cheaply and quickly. Does it make sense to pay a government official $10 to go collect $2 in taxes? Yes or no? Do we want government officials and citizens to have to spend a lot of time paying and collecting taxes? Yes or no? Second, we want taxes to be equitable, in other words, fair. And here's the big problem. What is fair? Many Americans disagree on what's fair with taxes. Some Americans say the rich should pay more in taxes. The rich can afford to pay more, they say. That's the ability to pay principle. They have the ability to pay more, they should pay more. And those people want progressive taxes. In other words, the richer you are, the more you pay in taxes. A real world example of this would be our income taxes. They increase as you get richer. What are the costs of or problems with the ability to pay principal? and problems with progressive taxes. What are the benefits of the ability to pay principal? What are the benefits of progressive taxes? What incentives are created by progressive taxes? And what are the unintended consequences created by progressive taxes? We're going to discuss that. Let's continue to discuss what is fair in taxes. Some Americans say everyone should pay the same percent of their money. They say it's equitable, it's fair if everyone's taxes are equal. That approach calls for proportional or flat taxes. In other words, everyone pays the same percent in taxes. A real-world example would be the sales tax. In Massachusetts, it's 6.25% for everyone, rich, poor, middle class, doesn't matter. What are the costs of or problems with proportional or flat taxes? What are the benefits of proportional or flat taxes? What incentives are created? And what are the unintended consequences of proportional or flat taxes? Some Americans say the poor should pay more taxes because they're getting the most help from the government. That approach calls for regressive taxes. Regressive taxes are when the poor pay more than the rich. For example, cigarette taxes end up being regressive because the poor smoke more than the rich do. So, what are the costs of, benefits of, incentives created by, and unintended consequences of regressive taxes? Which approach do you believe in? Which approach do you agree with? Do you like the ability to pay principle? Do you agree with progressive taxes? Do you like proportional or flat taxes? Or do you like regressive taxes, and why? We're going to discuss this. What do economists think of taxes? For the most part, economists don't like taxes. Why not? Well, the government paying someone to collect taxes costs what? And people paying their taxes costs them blank and blank. Also, taxes change or distort behavior. Why? Because a tax on an activity or a product makes its price go up or down. So demand for it will go up or down. And usually economists don't like that. Taxes lead to what we call dead weight loss, and I'll explain that. What is dead weight loss? Well, let's say that at $5 a beer, people want 5 beers. So here we are, $5 a beer, there's our price at equilibrium. People want 5 beers. There's our quantity at equilibrium. Then the government puts a $1 tax on each beer. Let's say the government's trying to encourage people to drink less. Now, with a $1 tax on a $5 beer, now the price of the beer goes up to $6. Demand will go up or down. Demand goes down to $4. Why? So at first, the market for beer was $5 a beer times 5 beers is $25 beer market. After the tax, however, the market for beer was $6 a beer times $4 each. That's $24 a beer. So the market has shrunk because of the tax. Many economists and companies, beer companies, and customers buying beer don't like that. So here's a graph that shows all this. Here we are, price at equilibrium, quantity at equilibrium. We started there. Everybody's happy. Then the government puts a $1 tax on the product. The product becomes more expensive. Now $6 a beer, people only want 4 beers. Okay, so we basically have lost, we've gone from a $25 beer market down to 24, and this loss is called dead weight loss. The green area is the tax revenue that is collected by the government, and the blue area is what we call consumer surplus. So if you look here, this is demand. Customers would be willing to pay more, but they don't have to. Prices are down here. So the customers are kind of getting this area, this value for free. We call that consumer surplus. Producers would be willing to supply down here, but they don't have to because the prices are up here. So they're kind of getting this value, this gray wedge for free. We call that producer surplus. But the bottom line here is the tax has made the product more expensive. So now people want fewer beers. The economic activity has decreased, and we call that deadweight loss. You can see that graphically in the red area. But sometimes taxing something in order to change behavior might be good. Are you in favor on taxes on cigarettes and alcohol if they get people to smoke and drink less? Yes or no? Why or why not? Would you be in favor of taxes on marijuana? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you in favor of taxes on gambling? Yes or no? Why or why not? And what about taxes on gasoline? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you in favor of those government nudges, trying to nudge you to make a smart choice? Yes or no? Why or why not? I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.